It's still supposed to be one of the bigger shows of the year. AEW All Out in Toronto. There's not a whole lot of buzz for it, but when it comes, it's still going to be a big, big, big show. Probably. Let's talk AEW. AEW presents All Out in Toronto. They are all out of the time slot that they initially had planned for because WWE came in with Brock Lesnar and suplexed them back into the middle part of the day. But still, AEW trying to make that move to 2 o'clock so that they get a little bit more buzz. It's not working. No one's talking about this show. There is zero buzz around this. We talk about before WWE kind of getting in their own way, sacrificing NXT for a lot of different counter-programming stuff. There's no question it's worked because no one's talking about this show. And I get it's Monday and Raw just kind of dominates the talk always in the wrestling space on a Monday, especially a Raw in a go-home capacity. But you are now building up to a show on ESPN featuring multitudes of the biggest stars that this company has to offer. Like every of the biggest star that this company has to offer, with the exception of Rhea Ripley, is going to be on this show. They are absolutely bringing everything they have. And they are hitting AEW at a time where they can't offer that star power. Now, no one on AEW has ever been able to offer the star power of a John Cena or a Brock Lesnar. And ironically, I will throw WWE Cody Rhodes in there. But a couple of the ones who could come close, Kenny Omega, not there. Will Ospreay, not there for a while. And honorable mention to Swerve Strickland, not there. So you are going up against a juggernaut in WWE that is bringing all of its tanks, and your 3 biggest missiles aren't there to be shot right now. So they are hurting for attention at this point. And I do think you combine it with some shows that looked less than at the ECW arena, and it has combined for a bit of a lackluster type of a feel to this particular show. But how many times have we said that in AEW, and then we get one of the pay-per-views of the year? Now, match quality-wise, this one's going to have a lot to live up to in that way. But Hangman Adam Page against Kyle Fletcher should be amazing. And so you look at this card, there's a lot of really, really strong matches on this show. Whatever we get out of the Okada Unified Championship match should be awesome, right? And Rio against Mercedes Moné is going to be a lot of fun. Like this, you are going to get a lot of very good wrestling on this show. And I think AEW's best chance in this Wrestle War of September 20th, 2025 is they're going first, and they're probably going to go best. WWE is going to rely on star power because that's what they have. AEW has to put on one of the best wrestling matches and best wrestling shows to keep up with that. So they are banking on giving you fast-paced, intense, and quite frankly, hardcore wrestling. And they are banking on kind of wearing you out before you move over to ESPN. But odds are a lot of people are just going to watch this on some kind of a stream after and just watch the WWE one live when they can. That would be my guess for how a lot of people are going to consume this. But again, this looks like it's going to be an amazing card when you look at the match quality. A couple issues I have. I said in the last few weeks, and I know, again, you can see the grays in my beard. I know I'm sounding like old man yelling at cloud. I need a break from AEW hardcore stuff. You know, like we have at Forbidden Door, we have all the guys in a steel cage and we're getting just wild violence in all these different spots. And it's incredible. But I have a difficult time naming a few of them that we saw. And then you have, before that, a Texas death match on television where Kyle Fletcher is stabbing through the leg of Dustin Rhodes and they're bleeding all over the place. And it's an incredible match, which is great. But it's also a Texas death match 2 weeks earlier at the biggest show of the year. And you're having all of these things. And oh my goodness, it's this wild, incredible thing. But then there was also the Anarchy in the Arena from it. Like, it's just, at some point it loses its specialness. And I understand if you are looking at the old Eric Bischoff model of greater than, less than, different than, you can either greater than or different than, whatever category you want, you can do that hardcore-wise on WWE. We saw the Donnybrook match that they had in Paris with Sheamus and Rusev. that looks a little bit different than the hardcore matches that we expect from AEW, right? Like they can out hardcore WWE. The problem is they go to that well a lot, and it is losing its specialness. It's losing its effect. And so we're getting tables and tacks on Saturday with MJF against Mark Briscoe, and we're getting a coffin match with Moxley and with Darby Allin. And I am sure there are going to be some unbelievable spots in that, but it's going to blend in with what we saw in the cage match last month and what we saw at the Texas Death Match 2 weeks before that. And the whatever that was with the bit different, but with the staple gun and the electrocuted fly swatter with Tony Storm and Sky Blue before that. And before that, it was the Texas Death Match at All In. This company goes to this well a lot, and they are good at it, and they have a lot of people who can do a lot of crazy things with it. And maybe they have some of the best doing it on Saturday, but when you do it all the time, it loses its impact. It loses the oh my gosh factor of it all. Or you have to keep one-upping yourselves, and it gets very dangerous, and now you're in a spot where, not necessarily because of this, but 3 of your top stars are already out with injury. We can't afford any more. So AEW has found a lane that they can differentiate themselves from WWE, but it's already starting to feel very much the same anyway. And so that's becoming a bit of a problem, I guess, for AEW moving forward.